Cool. Doing some more battle tower. It's 539 start. Let's check. It is important to get the order right. I haven't made as good progress this week. I haven't had quite as much time to stream. I wanted to be at sort of 600 going on 700, but we're not getting that. Just make a note of the trainer name. It's Ralph. This is obviously Kingler 2. And just check that's on OBS. Nice. Kingler 2 is only a problem with hypercutter. If it's hypercutter, it's a bit awkward. I've got to try and set up on crab hammer. I can't trick this because of guillotine. So I can switch if it uses crab hammer again, because then it won't guillotine. I can't switch into guillotine. So I'm waiting for it to either hit crab hammer or crit or hit guillotine. I think it's because it's used that many guillotines. I think what I can do is just go to Gyarados, since if Gyarados does faint, I can sub on the remaining crab hammers, I think. It's not even hypercutter. I think it can. Crab hammer can probably break the sub, even with the extra bulk. But it's safer to sub to protect against the crit anyway, because the crit crab hammer would do around half of my health as damage. Gyarados only needs +3 to take out Kingler in one shot. So Kingler hasn't got very lucky with the crits. Drifblim next. Obviously no way for us to avoid Aftermath. We could miss because of Lax Incense as well. That's irritating. And it is Aftermath and not Unburden. And then it's Metagross last. But no Quick Claw. It's Berkeley. So I think with Latios it always has to be a trick because of set 1. Can't let it calm mind. Bright Powder is set 3. And I will go for the decision point here is Thunderwave or Yawn. I think Thunderwave, since that means even. Yeah, it just buys more time on average. Now Ice Beam can take out Gyarados in terms of taking out its sub, so I don't want to set up Drapion on an Ice Beaming Latios. So I think I need to Memento. Yeah, we would need huge amount of special defense investment to survive this ice beam twice, or to survive it once without memento. There's no way it's worth it, I think. We do need +6 to definitely KO Latios, though. But Latios should run out of ice beams before that happens anyway. Yeah, there it is. So, Struggle definitely won't 2-shot the sub. I don't think it will 3-shot the sub either. I think it will go for the final dance. Especially since it's a little bit more healing leftovers. Don't know what Crest said it is. Flinched, but it's healing. I'm surprised, actually. I would have thought that we would have... Wait, we're at +6, aren't we? I'm surprised we don't Oko Crest 4, actually. Huh. I'm going to calc that later, I think. Do not Oko at +6. That's a bit worrying. Is this Newman? It's Leeway. Swampert 1. Very predictable set. It's going to Waterfall. Or Protect. I think Protect is quite likely as well, actually. We'll switch then to Gyarados. This could be Ice Punch, but if it is, I'll just have to get back. Yeah, so now it's Earthquake again. Interesting. The Protect spam seems very heavily prioritized. But because it's Stab Earthquake and because it's invested, we do need to send its attack really quite low for Drapion to be safe. You see, I think it used 2 Protects on the Gyarados turns. That's 2 more Earthquake than it would normally have if it was even set. I don't think we don't need to stall out all the PP because Earthquake can't 4-hit KO Drapion anyway. Just waiting on defense. And when it's out of Earthquake, I think it should be guaranteed to use Protect on non-consecutive turns anyway. Evasion is quite helpful, but I'm kind of wanting defense. I'm not as worried about Ice Punch freezes. Yeah, like that. This would be a lot safer if we'd had the defense boost already. I think it's also out of Protect, actually. Well, at least we have Evasion. No Waterfalls. No, it is. Yeah. It's obviously a tie between Waterfall and Ice Punch for Swampert. Yeah, the Ice Punch freeze isn't a problem for Drapion fainting, but it could obviously prevent a setup, or if Drapion was frozen for the Pokemon that comes in next, that would obviously be a problem in certain scenarios. There are quite a lot of Pokemon, probably the vast majority of which cannot actually kill Drapion even if it's frozen after it's boosted enough anyway. But the second switch in is more likely to have a ground move as a way to win the tie. And Swampert is still 7 turns away from struggling anyway. Scramble one. Don't necessarily Oko this. Nice roll, I think. And gold up one. We won't get this one either. Waitress Leslie. Crobat set 2. This thing is absolutely rubbish. I'm tempted to not even paralyze it. I don't even really see the point in that. But it could flinch Air Slash a lot of times on Drapion, so I guess I'll paralyze it. It's guaranteed to bite, I think. Gyarados will take really little from bite. Yeah. And Zen Headbutt or Air Slash, okay. Yeah, so Air Slash just enough to, if it flinched every time, be a problem. But after the paralysis, we are safe. And there's a special defense raise. That might mean I probably don't even have to click rest. I will say there is a temptation in these games to want to brinkmanship rest, and I'm very aware I shouldn't do it. For example, if a move is doing about 30 damage and I'm at about 50 health, brings me down to 20, I heal to 31. It's very tempting to want to click acupressure and say that Drapion is safe, but it would be so stupid to lose to that. Particularly when there's secondary effect involved, like, you know, don't want to underestimate how much damage burn does. This is probably a roll. Crobat 2 really is not very good. Yan Mega 2 is also pretty bad. We will Oko this. And Politoed 2 is a funny set. Is this Ralph again? It can't be Ralph, can it? Yeah, and it's River. This is Gliscor 3. It's the Pokemon that destroyed Pitaco's run because he didn't... Not Crobat. This is Gliscor 3. This is the Pokemon that ended Pitaco's run by hitting all of its guillotines. The thing is, you're not meant to use... Oh, let me bring it up on stream. You're not meant to use Trick against this. Even though you take the Focus Sash, I see no reason to give this the chance to win by hitting 4 out of 5 guillotines. Just, you know, what's the point? I can just yawn it. If it uses U-turn, I don't think I care. I don't know if after using a status move that counters more likely. It is definitely as likely as it was in the first turn. The question is if it's more or the same. It's definitely not gone down. Let's see it. I am going to go to Drapion now, I think. The reason being, if it hits Drapion with Earthquake, it's guaranteed to Earthquake again, and then I can test and see if it's Hypercutter or not. And if it hits Drapion with... It could wake up this turn and hit Drapion with Guillotine. I just don't mind as much, because it's much more likely to be a Gyarados setup than a Drapion one. So yeah, we will be... There's the Guillotine. Gonna go for the substitute again. Okay, U-turn's fine. Hippowdon is not fine. It's a rough combination. Not just because of Sand, but also because of Sand Veil is potentially on Gliscor. I don't know if it is or not. So I like doing damage to this though, because it can mean that Superpower gets more likely to be chosen. I think Hippowdon is forced to use Fissure here every single time. Is the strongest move... No. That's not true. Superpower isn't counted in the strongest move calculation, so it can be a Fang move. But the Fang moves won't break the sub directly. After U-turn damage, they could, but the sub hasn't taken any damage from U-turn yet. So the sub doesn't get broken this turn unless it's Fissure. And we won't 4-hit KO with this. Yeah. So another Fang does break the sub. Ideally, we either crit or flinch this Dark Pulse, which allows Superpower to be able to be chosen by the AI. Or Fissure Miss. Okay. Very tempted to go to Uxie. Because Hippowdon is slower than Drapion, even with a Choice Scarf. So if I lock it into Ice Fang, Drapion can just waste all of its Ice Fang PP, and then I can set up with Gyarados against the struggling Hippowdon. Or I could just go Gyarados now. Problem with that is that Hippowdon still has all of its fissures left. Drapion obviously can't set up behind a sub. Acupressure doesn't work behind a sub. Seems a lot safer to go Uxie. The Fire Fang. So I can lock it here. Can also yawn, I guess. I think I prefer the Trick Cripple. Because I know the problem is Gliscor 3 still has its... Gliscor 3 can still have Sand Veil to ruin the Gyarados sweep. And it really does ruin it. I need 2 Dragon Dances to be faster in Gliscor. A low health Drapion is not very helpful. I can yawn and then go Drapion and then go Gyarados on the Sleeping Hippo. Or I can just trick Memento. I could also just trick and then go Drapion and rest on it. And then bring Uxie in later, maybe. I'm not sure if I like Trick very much, though. I think I prefer Yawn. Because it won't... It won't fisher next turn, which means Drapion does come in safely. I'm too low to use sub, though. I can Dark Pulse and then switch out. The reason I want a Dark Pulse is because it allows your power to be possible. It's an awkward HP total. I wanted to use sub and bring myself into Firefang range so that even if it woke up, it wouldn't be able to kill. It might be safe to just rest then. I've also got to remember, if I bring Gyarados in, its White Herb is still active. Dark Pulse and Switch does seem like the best move, though. It's always awkward with Hippowdon because the damage I'm taking is permanent. I can't heal on Gyarados, and I obviously can't heal Uxie. I think I'm going to rest. And then I'm going to trick. You might say, what's the point of this? And the answer is I've bought an extra turn on Drapion compared to immediately using Trick by using Yawn first. I can safely switch to Drapion here because it's never Fisher right now. Just Ice Fang that it locks it into. I'm going to have to stall out Ice Fang PP, I think. I could sub here. An Ice Fang miss would be really nice. I don't want to use Dark Pulse anymore. It actually is not a good idea to bring us closer, dying to struggle. I did say that Gyarados needed 2 boosts to outspeed. On the other hand, I could also just trick back, which is not too bad. It would be locked into another move. Any other move would be so much easier for Gyarados to set up on. Gyarados overboosting doesn't really matter. If I trick back, actually it would always be... I think it's always Fire Fang it gets locked into if I trick back. Which is a very similar move, except... maybe it does have to be Gyarados right now, actually. If I trick it into Fire Fang, it'll go down to reload health. I can try and set up on Fire Fang, but because it's Sandstorm, I do not have more than one acupressure per loop, and I might be vulnerable to a burn on it. And obviously I can't bring Gyarados straight into Fire Fang. And I also can't trick Memento. Zuxi would be stuck on trick. So it'd have to be trick, switch, Memento. And Uxie faints then, which might matter. If I go straight to Gyarados now, I'm not sure if -1 Hippo Struggle would break the sub in 2 hits. I've got a feeling it would. Oh, it wouldn't be -1 anyway, it would be 0 because of White Herb. So Gyarados takes probably about 100 damage from 3 struggles. There is another possibility, which is I don't set up on purpose. I could just let Hippowdon struggle on Drapion, knowing that Gliscor's coming in next. That seems... What is the point of that? If Gliscor is Hypercutter, then I switch out Drapion on the obvious Earthquake when it comes back in. What's Gyarados doing? He's just sitting like a lemon in front of Guillotine. That could just be a 30% loss. Just simple 30% loss. It doesn't seem like a good idea. And it's Sandstorm. I can't stall out Earthquakes with Drapion. It's just not going to happen. In fact, even though I got a defense boost from Acupressure, I don't think I could do that. Being at +2 or +6 is a similar thing for Gyarados versus Gliscor. The thing is, even if I trick Hippowdon and get it into Fire Fang and get Gyarados in, I guess Gyarados does take less chip then. Which might matter if I want to try and bait Guillotine on Gyarados' sub. So maybe it should be Uxie, Trick. Because then Gyarados can enter Gliscor with a sub up. Okay, I guess it's probably that then. It's just much better. It would actually be ideal if I could feint to Sandstorm here. Oh, it's so awkward because I'm not locked. Wait. Yeah. Well, I could trick again. I could trick again. That's fine. And give it because it could be superpower here, which would give Gyarados even more time. It's Fire Fang, but it missed. Really important that these Fire Fangs don't crit, actually. I'm not sure if 3 Fire Fangs break the sub or 4. I am quite tempted to attack now, though. I've got high health, a fast and Gliscor. The final Pokemon doesn't have Earthquake. It is a PI trainer. The final Pokemon doesn't actually have Earthquake. If I Dragon Dance here, I think the sub might break. I like attacking. So I know Gliscor's used up Guillotine. So I could just Dragon Dance on Gliscor, it's take less damage. I think that's better then. Oh my god, it's Magnezone too. Pretty lucky escape, to be honest. Well, I assume Gliscor is coming in because I was assuming that Earthquake is the strongest move, but obviously Explosion is more than Earthquake. I'm not seeing because it's going to psych up, I think. If it explodes, do I care? I mean, it doesn't matter, I think. Because Gliscor doesn't have the PP to defeat Gyarados, so let's go for the win. It could be Sandvale. I do miss, so I did need... This is the thing, if it was going to be Sandvale, I was going to miss. I needed the health for substitute again. So it did matter. If I'd just gone Gyarados immediately on the Hippo, I guess I can sub on... I would have subbed on Magnezone, but I didn't know for certain that Magnezone was in the back. Could be something else, and Gliscor could have come in second. Maldo can... Well, set 2 has Fling. I don't want to really... The set 1 has Acupressure. It'd be so dangerous to... I think I risked that once where I just said to set 1, okay, let's see who wins. But I do not want to get into an Acupressure war. I think it's got to be Trick. And it is Fling. But I guess that's fine. So although we've lost the Choice Scarf, the Fling set sucks. So I think we will... Thunderwave, I guess. Payback crit would take out Gyarados. I don't really want to be knocked off, but it might have to happen here. I think being knocked off is an acceptable trade for Acupressure. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe I'd rather just go. Okay, well, after knockoff, I'm definitely going to fall. set up. That's fine. I was going to say, if poison jab is always prioritized over knockoff, I probably would have stopped boosting after poison jab was out of PP. Just need to remember that I haven't got passive healing anymore. I guess with enough evasion boost, maybe I also did get knocked off. Yeah, well, even without Black Sludge, Drapion is almost immortal. It's funny that Payback doesn't get prioritized as hard because it does do more damage than Poison Jab. But now if I just set to leave it as Dust and Watt 2 for symmetry reasons. Miranda. Staking is always a guaranteed setup. Just need to be a bit careful because Giga Impact can Oko both Drapion and with a crit it can Oko Gyarados as well, so I have to take it seriously. And it's also fast in them, so yeah, that's not even a crit. It did damage to Uxie. Go Gyarados. Just thinking if I want to, because I could also try and set up Drapion because I get to switch between the two, and on the non-truant turns I can just substitute with either Drapion or Gyarados to make the switch always safe. Or I can just set up Gyarados. We'll see. Well, if you're not going to actually use the correct moves, I might just set up. It is very impressive that Shadow Claw does not break the sub. Yeah, it's missed two anyways. We will go with the Gyarados setup then. Staraptor 4. A much worse lead than Slaking 4. Arguably Licky Licky is 2 with Explosion. I'm not sure which Roman Lady this is by the quote alone. It's a new Gyarados. It has more bulk after Hypercutter pincer almost ruined the streak. Don't know which Venusaur set this is. I dislike set 2 by the way it delays things, but set 2 is always a consistent setup. Yeah, let me show. So the old Gyarados set had 194 attack, 104 defense, and 121 special defense. I have to trick because of the curse set. It is set 2. Set 2 is faster than Gyarados, obviously, but going to have to do this. Try and get Gyarados in. Giga Drain has 10 PP, so I do always get this set up. Try and get Gyarados in, and it not be Sleep Powder or Leech Seed. That's nice. Okay, it should be a setup then. In theory, it's possible to set up on it's possible to drain everything's all of its PP and take the struggle turns to bring Uxie back in and trick it out again. This thing runs so much defense. I think we'd need +5 to OHKO this probably. Yeah. Venusaur 2 is bold, so we do need +5. That's fine. I guess there's other grass types in the back almost always. Even though grass types don't do very well on the switching decision for Gyarados because of the high special defense and the fact that grass isn't actually super effective. Can Dragon Dance again. It costs me 25% of my HP overall. I don't think it's worth it. Roserade. Just thinking, is there any Roserade set I would actually switch out of ever? So none of them run an Axie item, so no. Victory Bell's the last mon. Victory Bell sets can't beat Drapion. Is this Lou? It's bad. Okay, great. I hate the ice trainers. Can't trick because of set 3 with sheer cold. Cannot give it Choice Scarf sheer cold. Always has to be Thunder Wave or Yawn then. Yawn arguably is safer. But it wastes time bringing Uxie in twice. And set 4 Surf does hit quite hard. That's set 1. It will go Gyarados, because it's never going to Ice Fang Uxie, because Waterfall does more, Aqua does more. And after -1, Ice Fang doesn't break the sub. What's annoying about Wooing is it could potentially Encore. Don't think it matters though. Just as likely to use Swagger, yeah. I don't want to overgreed this, but Walrein is also defensive enough that I'd need +5 to OHKO it. Well, full health +5. I'm going to take that against an ice trainer. Mammoth spine. We didn't miss set 3. If it was set 3. Xander? Yeah, it's Xander. Beginning to recognize them by their quotes. This one's funny. Porygon Z should always trick. So while it's using trick, I'm just going to Thunder Wave. And then when it's out of trick PP, I'm going to switch to Gyarados and Dragon Dance. Don't see a reason to do anything else. It'll be struggling, but struggle will do almost nothing to Gyarados, you know, sort of like 13, 14 damage maybe. And it can get fully paralyzed. It's almost impossible for me to not notice it, if that makes sense. It also kind of matters because sometimes I miss the trainer name on fast forward. It's using a very important skill here, which is being able to count to 10. How much PP Trick has. It would actually be a very big deal if I didn't count to 10 correctly, and Gyarados got given a choice scarf. No reason to sub, although a crit struggle wouldn't break the sub. A crit struggle plus a normal struggle might. Who was this again? This was Xander. Xander is 31 IVs. So this Porygon Z is dead this turn, if it's not fully paralyzed. Set 2 trainers very rarely offer any resistance to a sweep. The set 2s are so bad. Starmie 2, yeah. And Magnezone 2 is up again. Yeah, I knew it couldn't be Idle Trista. Idle Miranda, because we already had that. They can't repeat trainers in a set. Laserkin's dangerous because of set 4. Flare Blitz can kill itself. I don't care about anything else. Let me bring up set 4. We've got on what its other moves are after Superpower. It's got Night Slash. It could use Night Slash. That's possible. Because I'm considering just Thunder Waving and going Gyarados. If it crits Uxie with Flare Blitz, that's a 60 damage recoil and a potential Oko. But then it's got a Thunder Punch Gyarados. It would never do anything else apart from maybe some Night. No, it's got a Thunder Punch Gyarados when it sees kills. Otherwise, it's Night Slash or Thunder Punch. And then it'll always be Flare Blitzing Drapion. I only need to get it down to -2, but with White Herb, that could be 3 switches to Gyarados. So if Gyarados switches in and gets burned the first time, that could be a problem. But if I'm not going to Thunder Wave, what am I going to do? I don't really want to trick it into Flare Blitz. That would be worse than Thunder Waving into Flare Blitz. And I can't Memento White Herb. I could Yawn. It might be Yawn. Yawn would guarantee I can bring in Gyarados at least 3 times. Problem with that is that on Yawn it's taking complete Flare Blitz recoil twice. No, it's taking it 3 times. Because the first one could be White Herbed. And it could wake up on turn 2 with Rest. I mean Yawn. Seems like Thunder Wave probably saves more turns on average then. I don't know what set it is though. It could still be something else. Nothing else. Okay, set 3 could Stone Edge Gyarados. Don't want that to happen. I don't really want to switch Drapion into Flare Blitz either though. I think it's got to be, at least if it's set 3 and I go Gyarados, at least it doesn't White Herb away to Intimidate. Okay, that is set 3. So set 3 would always Stone Edge here, it can't use another move. Because although Blaze Crit is plus crit move, which normally gets a chance to be used no matter what, it's not very effective as well, which removes its chance to be used. This is always Earthquake or one of the high crit moves. It could be Stone Edge. Stone Edge crit would take out Gyarados, obviously. Earthquake is a lot more likely. It's already at -2. It needs... I might be able to Rest Loop it at -2. -3 is definitely safe for Drapion, though. So it's at -3. I think we can safely Rest Loop this. It's going to do about 50 with Earthquake. So if Acupressure is a helpful boost, like Evasion or defense, we might get an even faster setup. It's doing about 50. The paralysis helps too. Kind of waiting for defense of evasion though. Evasion is helpful. I mean, it's going to be out of Earthquakes by the time that it really kicks into being helpful anyway. Interesting, it can Shadow Claw. I'm thinking of Gen 3 then, where the plus crit moves are filtered through super effective. It's just any crit move. Oh no, it's not that. It's because it's out of Earthquakes. That's why it can Shadow Claw. No, I am correct. Yeah, Blaze Kick doesn't even do enough damage to be worried about burn from that. Speed is sometimes helpful, as in +6 my aunt instead of +4. Okay, what have you got on the back? Typhlosion. What does it use? Fire Punch. Blastoise. Focus Blast is set 4. Set 1 is always a bit dangerous with Alakazam. It's got Calm Mind and Bright Powder, so Trick could miss. If it Calm Minded on a miss Trick and then started using Shadow Ball, that would be really quite annoying. It might happen at one point too. None of the other sets really matter. It is set 1. I just stopped talking these things into existence. Set 1 is rarer than the other sets overall. It can be synchronized. I do on average buy another few turns with Thunderwave, but I don't really want Uxie to be synchronized, paralyzed. And Drapion gets 22 turns of setup anyway with Acupressure. I think, is that true? It's Katie. Reporter Katie is 31 IV. So this Alakazam is 130 health. Yeah. Just not divisible by 4. Takes 32 damage from Struggle. Yeah, so the thing about Calm Mind and then Trick Miss as a turn 1 is that +1 Shadow Ball could definitely OHKO Uxie. A +1 Future Sight against Drapion probably does about 60-70 damage. Of course, the true nightmare would be I miss twice. That is also possible. I could miss on another Calm Mind. At least it would never get above +4 with Alakazam. I could always sub on the Future Sight turns. It would be very uncomfortable to play that though. But Drapion being a Dark type probably saves me in those matches. It's not Executor free. I don't know what Slowking it was either. No, it probably wasn't Slowking 1 actually, because that doesn't have a very strong move. It's more likely to be Slowking 4, as that has Surf to be used against Drapion. But Swampert free. It's quite likely to use Counter on turn 1. But even if it doesn't, it'll be Muddy Water, which doesn't break Gyarados' sub, even without Memento. So I think we'll yawn this. If it gets the accuracy drop here, I'll reset it. Yeah, that's fine. That did more than I thought it would. It's doing about 35 then with Muddy Water. Okay. Well, I need +4 to definitely OHKO you. So I guess Muddy Water Miss would help. I do not want to give you Torrent. So I can't attack earlier than that, I think. It's fine. If the setup fails... if the setup fails, I might have to re-trick. I think it should always get locked into counter, though, on the re-trick. It should never be Ice Beam, because Ice Beam is deprioritized by being weaker than Muddy Water. Okay, well, no Muddy Water crits, at least. Here's a question. How much does Struggle do? I think we're looking at a 3-shot Struggle to kill the sub. I quite like staying in because I get a bit more chip healing, which could matter into something like Aftermath, Drift Blim. So this, I could see potentially this Struggle could break the sub. I think I'll go then. I'd have 73 health. That's probably enough. It's Tauros free. Not a problem, obviously. Floats all free. We would have got Floats all free with the Waterfall, actually. Should have gone for that for star points. Using not very effective move. Gunther. I don't like Electivire leads. Just awkward to know what to do. The Thunder Punch lock. It's not a move that... It's not a move that Drapion wants to set up on, really. I could Memento. I guess I yawn. I go Drapion. And then I go onto Gyarados on the Earthquakes. And I've got a backup trick. If I need it. That did a lot. 67 damage. Well, at least the next one will do less than 50. That is a lot of damage. I'm not sure. I mean, -3. I'm not worried about Drapion not being able to heal out of it. I'm worried about it paralysing Drapion. For later, it might stop Drapion from ever being able to recover from it, really. I'm considering going to Uxie and yawning again. It's probably okay. It's... It's awkward, though. What is awkward is that I'm slower than Electivire. I'm not running out of Thunder Punch before we're out of Earthquake. I can do it next turn, though. I'll let Drapion get hit again. The next turn, I can go Uxie, Yawn, and then Drapion can use Rest. The paralysis sucks slightly. Only in trouble if this is a paralysis and a fully paralyzed, though. Fundamentally, the main move I'm stalling out is Earthquake, so I guess I can sub first. It's an additional Earthquake PP. And being asleep actually helps because it prevents me from being paralyzed. At -5, these Thunder Punches aren't doing enough anymore. It's not Stab Earthquake. I can definitely rest sleep it. Defense boost is very helpful. Not too worried about being frozen now, at least. The paralysis actually helps. Prevents freeze and prevents burn, which are both much worse than paralysis. For a +2 defense Rapion versus a -6 Electivire. I might want to rest before sub, just in case I get paralyzed 3 times in a row after using sub, which can block me from being able to rest again and heal paralysis. I think that's worth it, even if I get frozen or re-paralyzed. To be honest, burn is ideal, because I'll be done in 4 turns. Mamoswine 4. Which does survive. But also misses. And Shuckle 4. This could survive the 2-hit KO as well, I think. It does. That's impressive. Shuckle obviously does absolutely nothing, but, you know, take what you can get. It's going to survive this one as well, the special defense boost from Sandstorm. Yeah. With +6 accuracy, I can't lose to it. Yeah, I'm very behind on where I wanted to be in this streak on this week, but I think overplaying is just going to lead me to lose, so I'll probably stop after this round. I'd rather go slow than lose at this point. 550 wins is a lot. Speaking of losing, it's Claydol. It is possible that this explodes. I do need to trick it. Rock slide is a relief. Claydol's actually faster than Uxie with a choice scarf. Claydol was always sort of surprisingly fast. 75 base speed. I think against Rock Slide, I'm going to go Drapion. If Drapion doesn't get very good acupressures, I'll have to go Gyarados and set up on the struggling turns. There's no way I'm tricking this out of Rock Slide. It's just going to blow up on me. I kind of yawn though. Being slower matters. We did get the yawn off at least. Yeah. Rock Slide's 10 pp. Then you got 6 left, obviously. Just estimating about whether or not I'm going to have to. Okay, it's got 5 left. It's probably not going to be a Drapion sweep unless I get literally speed, defense, evasion, special attack. Probably in that order. I don't need more special defense. You know what? I should have rested there. Because reducing number of turns left on Drapion resting matters more than a lucky acupressure boost chance. At least it didn't flinch me. I need to set up on the struggles now, though. Yeah, with Intimidate, struggle should not two-shot the sub, at least. PI River. Got an odd number of HP then. I'm not sure I could have played this better against Claydol, at least. Kingler 2. It was a good thing I did get the +3 and not +2. If I miscount the number of struggle turns, then Gyarados sometimes only gets +2. Boris. I think locking this into Stone Edge is fine. Doesn't have to use Aquatail. It's got a sticky hold. Don't know why I thought it was Whiscash. Complete mind break. I'm like, Whiscash doesn't have sticky hold. It's got Oblivious Anticipation, but at least it's Surf every single time. I'll have to take Chip. Just considering if it's safer to go through Drapion once, it probably is. I don't want Uxie to be frozen or poisoned. I think it's a Memento, probably every time. It's Memento on a limited Gyarados setup, I think. I can go to Drapion first, since it will always Earth Power. So 2 Ice Beams will definitely break the sub. But I only need +3 to Oko Gastrodon at least. The situation would be very bad for it to crit twice. A single crit be okay, 2 crits very bad. I've probably got a roll to kill against Ranger Boris, because Ranger Boris is 21 IV with Waterfall. Probably can kill it at +2. It'd be very bad not to, though. There's the crit. Handbeat Bomb 4 is fine. So it's Charizard 4. This isn't Miranda or Trista. I'm not sure actually. It's Coco, okay. It has to be. It doesn't have to be Trick actually. There's no setup move. But tricking it onto Rain Dance or Agility or Thunder Wave would be very nice. It's only set 4 actually, which a Trick would be bad against. Yeah. 3 out of 4 sets, Trick is good. And the 4th one, it's okay, because it would be locked in the Shadow Ball anyway. Anyway, Agility is set 1. Agility is 30 PP. Please crit or flinch soon. I don't want to enter an unnecessarily long battle. Even if Moonlight does only have 5 PP. Well, it doesn't use it, that's fine. Zatu. Could be Confuser and Aircutter. Doesn't have to be on Ominous Wind. Don't really want to synchronize myself either. But Psychic breaks Gyarados' sub easily. Aircutter it is. Well, I can yawn. I don't think Aircutter will break Gyarados' sub, but even if it can't, Memento means that it would take 3 shots to break it, if that's also true. I need 3 Dragon Dances to be faster. It's a high crit move, actually. I probably shouldn't have used Memento. Oh well. Yeah, there's the crit. Could just go at +4. It is a high crit move I'm setting up on. Don't want to get too low. There's a Bird Keeper. I don't need max boosts. Yeah, let's go. Drift Blim. No Aftermath though. Gliscor, is it Gliscor free? It is. Let's put in Drift Blim 4 as a guess. Clive. Mega. Always a bit nervous about set 4. Specifically set 4 if it is Tinted Lens. I've talked for this before though. And Thunder Wave is what we came up with the justification that I can Memento. And if it is Speed Boost, I do have enough turns to set up Gyarados. It's Speed Boost, I don't know what it is though. It's set 4. Speed Boost. Just gonna Air Slash every time here. Air Slash is a lot. And now I go back to Uxie, I'm not sure what I meant to do on Trick versus Memento. I can trick it into Bug Buzz. It's going to be faster than Gyarados soon though. Especially if I trick it, obviously. Speed Boost and Trick will overcome Paralysis. Although I do get a Dragon Dance and then I'll be... After 2 Dragon Dances... No, after 3... I will always be outspeeding it. Or I could Memento and just try and set up Drapion. Or I could Memento and try and set up Gyarados. I'll attempt the Gyarados setup. If it fails, I can do the Drapion setup. So it will 2-shot the sub. I need +2 to Oko it though. But I think while it's got a chance to be fully paralyzed, I'm not going to attack. And I have enough health left to use sub. It hasn't been paralyzed yet, though. This would be a very bad time to be crit. I'll have to go +3. Okay. Prefer that to the potential Drapion setup going wrong with flinches. It's Aero. Not sure which one. And Medicham. Is that Clown Frank or Enzo? It's Enzo. Again, I have the tricks of set 4. It is set 4. Already seen this happen before. Same as last time, I think. Except this time I'm coming and dropping on a turn earlier. It's got 7 Rock Slide PP left. Speed. Accuracy. Evasion. Evasion is quite nice. Maybe I will go with this then. The double attack boost sucks. +4 evasion, and I got special attack. And I got defense. Okay, I'm probably sticking with this then. Getting all 3 attack boosts is not good. Yeah, this is a pretty good setup overall. The special defense is pretty good. We got speed, we got the special attack. Accuracy doesn't hurt. Little bit weak on the earthquake in switch coming. That's fine. That's not an earthquaker, and if it is set 2, that's fine too, because it sucks. Is it Metagross 4? It is Metagross 4. Kind of a disgusting team, to be honest. So I don't know what Slowbro it is, I'll just put Slowbro 3. Is this Sylvie? No, it's Denver. Okay. Medicham. I think it's Trick every time. Poison Jab's not too bad. Fake Out is set 1. I don't need to do anything into set 1 actually, because it sucks into Drapion. And kind of sucks into Gyarados too. I can Thunder Wave it. Yeah, I mean Drapion is already really good into Psychics. If I get speed and my special attack, I'm going to go. There's my speed. If I can get special attack, I'm actually just going to attack after sub, because it's a psychic trainer. The special defense doesn't hurt. Where's my special attack? Come on. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. I'm gonna go. I haven't got defense yet, but it's fine. Oh no, I did get defense once. I got 1 defense. Is it Executor 3? It's gonna punish me with Trick Room? Nope. And Espeon's never beating Drapion. Can't be Espeon 2 actually, because that doesn't have any moves to hit. It's probably not Espeon 1. It's probably not Executive 1 because it beat SP on the switching decision. And it wasn't SP on. It wasn't SP on free, so I don't know what it was actually. Anyway, that's 560. I'll stop there before I start playing badly.